Sweet. We're up. We're live.
Hello? Hi, Science.
Awesome. Hi everyone. Welcome to this crazy science outreach thing that we're doing. We're so glad that you're here. I'm Tyler,
Hi, I'm Emma.
and we're super excited to be talking to y'all today. Before we get started, though, we'd love to field any questions y'all might have. We know it's kind of crazy right now, um, but if you have a question about how this is going to work, what's going to be going down, or big picture stuff, we'd love to answer that real quick before we get started talking about soap.
And we should also introduce Daphne, who's manning all the technical side of stuff and is keeping a really keen eye on the chat.
Definitely. Do we have any questions, Daphne? I cannot see the chat from here. Okay,
All right.
cool. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. Wanted to start off with a quick little bit of sort of a fun demo. As you all know, the coronavirus, this pandemic, is a super scary thing in the world that we're dealing with right now. There's a great little model of what it actually looks like. And today we're going to be talking about some of the really special power that comes with washing your hands, and particularly with how fancy just good old-fashioned soap is. Can I get that, Emma, real quick? I need to grab that.
Oh,
Could you
yeah.
hand it? Could you
Here
hand it to me?
goes.
Oh, awesome. All right, sweet. Thanks, Emma. Soap is really special stuff, and to show that off, we're going to do a quick little demo. I'm going to need a couple other things though. Could I get some pepper? Do you have any pepper?
I do. Here goes.
Sweet. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. I'll take that. Sweet. So we got a little bit of pepper. We got some soap. And lastly, do you have any water?
All right, let me find my water. Oh. Okay.
Brilliant. Oh, look, that's a big molecule, but I'll go ahead and grab that. And sweet. All right, cool. So what we're going to do, and it occurs to me that this is not going to be easy to film. Give me 10 seconds. Okay, that might make that easier. I've got just a little bowl here, and we're going to go ahead and fill up that bowl with water. Just like so. Whoa, I'm spilling water on my computer. That's a bad idea. All right, let me actually switch my camera around is what I can do. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Sweet. So I've got this this lovely bowl of water here, my great setup here, and we're just going to take a bunch of this here pepper and just sprinkle it all over. Now this pepper sort of symbolizes the virus. It's not actually coronavirus. Don't worry, it's just pepper. But it is going to allow us to show off this really cool demonstration. So if we take our soap here, and I'm just going to get a little bit of this here soap all over my finger. Just going to take some of the soap and line it up on camera and just get a little bit of a lather worked up. And now I've got really soapy finger. And watch what happens when I have of this soap interact with our virus over here. Hey, look at that. It all just completely takes off. That's really cool. So a bunch of y'all are probably wondering why the heck that is. Emma, do you have any ideas about what's going on there? What's making? Yeah.
Whoa.
Ah, it is hard to hear us.
All right, we'll do our best to be louder.
Yeah, I don't think I have a ton of control over my my little headphone mic right now. Okay, cool. We'll be good and loud then. So Emma, could you tell us a little bit about what might be happening with this soap? What's going on?
Yeah. So, if we're talking about coronavirus, water, and soap, here's our three main characters. the most important, coronavirus. And then we have water. And here we have soap. So soap has this side which really likes water, and it has this side which really likes fats. So any kind of fat like oil or what other fats are there, Tyler?
You've got oil. Other fats you may interact with are like butter,
Oh, yes.
or certain kinds of grease. Anything that feels really sort of icky and slimy is probably made of some kind of fat.
And so the thing about our coronavirus is that all this that you see is made of fats. It's a layer of fat. That protective outer coat is a layer of fat that protects this part inside, which is its genetic material. And so when you have all three of them together, say this is my hand, and I have some coronavirus on it, and then I start washing my hands. So I also have water. And then if I actually want it to be effective, I will add soap. And so what happens then is this.
Yeah. So as y'all can see there, the little squiggly end of the soap is connecting, it's bonding to the fats on the outside protective layer of the virus, while the circular heads are connecting to the water. And it holds on so tightly that when you remove the water, and it all gets washed off, it'll actually rip the shell right off the virus into tons of itsy bitsy pieces. And once that shell is gone, the virus, it really ceases to exist. The genetic material becomes a mess, as you can see there.
This can't get anyone sick.
Yeah. So that's what's going on there. A couple cool pieces of vocabulary. A molecule that has this sort of format with one side that sticks to fat and one side that sticks to water is called an amphiphile. You may also hear them referred to as emulsifiers. And they're super cool, and they're super useful for other things too. For example, if you've ever been to the grocery store and you see all those bottles of salad dressing with a bunch of oil floating on top of a bunch of liquid that is basically water, from that you can see that oil and water really don't like to interact. So you need some fancy molecules like these amphiphiles to sort of bring them together and hold things and hold disparate liquids together that ordinarily don't like to mix. Cool. Do we want to do our demo of what that looks like hands-on? I'm not sure we have a ton of other stuff to talk about.
So if we want to think a little bit about, let's think of the coronavirus also as this turmeric. So here is mixed turmeric and oil. And so if I am going to put these on my hands, and rub them around, my hands are kind of yellow. And if I put them in this bucket of water and try and get it off, well, they're just still yellow. And they're still oily. Do you see? But once I get the bar of soap, and so you say you have to wash for at least 20 seconds because all that breaking apart of the fats doesn't happen immediately. So what's a good thing that we can do to make sure we're taking up the 20 seconds. We could maybe sing a song. What about the Itsy Bitsy Spider? All right. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Out came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and washed out all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. So you see, that gave a lot of time for the soap to lather and really interact with the molecules of water and of fats on my hands. And you see, this foam is very yellow because these particles are going away with the soap. And when I dip my hands back into my bucket of water, they're not yellow anymore.
Awesome. So that's a super great thing that y'all could try out at home later on if you have some time. Is that oil does not want to wash off your hands, as you can see, with just water. Um, you really need those soap molecules in there. Um, the other cleaning thing that you'll see used a lot these days is alcohol-based hand sanitizers. I'm actually going to grab one. You've probably seen these around, and because these are super fancy and they come in these cool bottles and they smell really funny, you may think that they're super high tech, state of the art, way better than any old soap would be at destroying the virus. But that's actually not true at all. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers are really great at killing a lot of kinds of germs, and they will kill a lot of viruses. But the method that they do that is not nearly as effective or completely destructive as the soap is. This may damage a lot of the genetic material, but it's never going to have that same catastrophic destructive effect that soap does on small viruses. So the CDC highly recommends using good old fashioned soap in whatever format you might have it to wash your hands with.
So to give you still another model of what this looks like, Tyler, could you pass me a 3D model of the coronavirus, please?
Oh, like one of these?
Yes,
yeah, for sure. There you go.
So these spikes are proteins mostly, and they're what the coronavirus uses to get through your skin and through your cells, outer walls, to get into the inside of your cell and mess with the DNA in your cell and convince it to start making a lot of new coronaviruses. This that you see that here is green Play-Doh. It's the fat layer. It's called a bilipid layer, a bilipid membrane that covers up the coronavirus DNA, and it's RNA, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, this fat-loving tail will come in, and all of them will attach on here, and they will just rip it away. They'll just rip it away. Let's imagine my fingers are soap molecules. And they leave you the naked RNA. And this can't do anything. It can't do anything. And then the fat-loving molecules will go away, and their water-loving heads, as you keep pouring water on your hands, they'll go away with the water. and then your hands will be safe. And so that's the reason why if you go out and you wash your hands, you have to wash your hands before you touch your eyes or before you touch your mouth or your nose, because the danger of getting the coronavirus on your hands, you don't get coronavirus from having coronavirus on your skin. You get it from having it in your mouth or in your nose or in your eyes. And so you have to wash off your hands so that then you can touch your eyes and your face again. And if I only have the DNA on my hand, it can't do anything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop touching my face until I get a chance to wash my hands again. That's really great. Do people have any questions? I realize we've covered a lot of material really quickly. Feel free to throw them in the chat if you're unsure about anything. And I'm sorry about the volume issues. We'll get those addressed before we do this again.
Audio is still too quiet. All right, let's try. Is it both of our audios that is too quiet, or is it just mine, or just Tyler's?
Oh.
Hello, can you all hear us?
Does that sound better?
Also, thank you all for your patience and for bearing with us. It's the first time we're doing this in this live stream format. So you're also kind of helping us do our experimentation, our test run. And we really appreciate it. Oh, it got better. Huh.
Sweet.